looking at problem G, I'm going to write 12 and 2 ninths, subtracting 7 and 2/3. I like to write it vertically, it just makes it a lot easier to keep track of where your whole numbers are. So we worked on borrowing yesterday. You watched a Khan Academy video the day before that about borrowing. And so we're going to see that here today. Not only that, what's different about this subtraction problem today? What's different, Harley? Exactly. We've been working with like denominators, and we don't have that this time. So we're looking for a number that both 9 and 3 can go into. What's a common denominator for 3 and 9? What do you got? Can 9 go into 3? Want to adjust your answer? Lower. Lower. Those all work, by the way. I just don't want to reduce. What do you got? Not for 9. Nice try. What do you got? I can use 9, right? That way I don't have to change this one. I only have to change this one. So 3 and 9 can both go into 9. So I'm only going to change the second one. I'm going to leave the first one alone because it already has that denominator. And so then I say, how did I get the 9? I did 3 times 3 is 9. So now I need to do 2 times 3 is 6. Then I want you to tell me what you're thinking at this point. We have a common denominator. What are we thinking? Can we do it? What's wrong with it? I cannot do 2 ninths subtracting 6 ninths. 2 minus 6. So we are going to, what's it called? What are we going to do? When you can't subtract, what do? You're going to borrow. So I'm going to borrow from the 12. It becomes an 11. And then remember, you take your 1 whole one and you put it in front. So now I have a mixed number that says 1 and 2 ninths. And I'm going to change my mixed number into an improper fraction. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 2 is 11 ninths. So we took 1 from the 12, we borrowed 1, and we put it in front of the fraction to create another mixed number here. And then we change it to an improper fraction. Now I have 11 ninths subtracting 6 ninths. How much is 11 ninths subtracting 6 ninths? 5 ninths. And then I look at my whole numbers that are lined on top of each other. 11 minus 7 is 4. So I'm going to put 4 and 5 ninths. Let's try problem C. C says 17 and 3/4 subtracting 9 and 3/12. What's the first thing I need? I need a common denominator. So we're working on that language of math. So I need a common denominator. What is a common denominator? They call it the least common denominator because all the ones you said work, and I could use them. But that just means I'm going to reduce more at the end. So what's the least common denominator for 4 and 12? 12. 12 can go into 12, and 4 can go into 12. So this is the only fraction that I need to adjust. 4 times what is 12? 3. And so I do the same thing in the numerator. 3 times 3 is 9. Can I do 9/12 subtracting 3/12? Yes, I can. 9 minus 3. So 9/12 minus 3/12 is 6/12. And then 17 subtracting 9. Am I done? No. You need to simplify 6/12. What do you think the fraction is going to be for 6/12? Exactly. Every time you see a numerator that's exactly half the denominator, it reduces down to a half. 8 and 1. I'm going to try a couple more with you, and then I'm going to let you go. Let's do W. 5 and 5/6. Subtracting 2 and 2/3. Go ahead and try this one. Start it out. Let's see what you get, and then I'll do it. I see for my denominator of 3 and 6, the least common denominator is going to be 6. 3 can go into 6, and 6 can go into 6. 3 times 2 is 6, therefore 2 times 2 is 4. Now it says 5, 6, subtracting 4, 6, and I can do that. I don't need to borrow, and I get 3 and 1, 6. So I'm going to put 3 and 1, 6 on my answer sheets. Okay, I'm going to do one more with you. And the one that I'm going to do with you now is mostly what you're going to see moving forward. I am going to do letter N with you. Letter N says 7 and 1/4 subtracting 3 and 3/5. 7 and 1/4 subtracting 3 and 3/5. How is this one different from any of the ones that we've seen so far? What's different about this problem? It's about those denominators, and 4 can't go into 5, and 5 can't go into 4. So there's not any number here. Everyone that I worked on over here, they always had a number that would work. The 9 worked for both of them. The 12 worked for both of them. So here I don't have that. But what is the least common denominator for 4 and 5? 4 and 5 can both go into the number 20. So this time I actually have to change both of them. I just adjust my numerators now that I know my denominator is 20. So 4 times 5 gave me 20. So I'm going to do 1 times 5 is 5. Five times 4 gives me the 20. So 3 times 4 is 12. Can we do 5 20ths subtracting 12 20ths? No, this is what we did yesterday. We borrowed all day yesterday. And so I'm going to borrow from the 7, and the 7 becomes a 6. What do I do with the 1 that I'm borrowing? Where do I put it? You put it in front of the fraction that you're working with, not the old one. This is the one I'm working with now. So I borrowed 1, and I put it in front of the fraction to make it a mixed number. And now I take my mixed number and change that to an improper fraction. 20 times 1 is 20, plus 5 is 25 20ths. Now I have 25 20ths subtracting 12 20ths, and I can do that. 12 and 12 is 24, so 1 more would be 13 20ths. And then 6 subtracting 3 is 3. 13 is prime. It doesn't have anything in common with an even number, so that's my final answer. 3 and 13 20ths for letter N. 3 and 13 20ths. Okay, go ahead and keep. Now, you don't have to do every single one on the paper. If you look at problem H, they have a common denominator. The question is, can I do 7 minus 5? Right? So this one I can just do right out. 7 eighths minus 5 eighths is 2 eighths. 3 minus 2 is 1. But then I just have to worry about my final answer. Is that my final answer? No, I can divide them both by 2. Remember, we're always checking 2, 3, and 5. If you always check those numbers to simplify, you're going to. So now it's 1 and divide by 2. 1 divide by 2, you get 4. 1 and 1/4. Final answer for that one. Don't worry about the bottom. Go through and get all the math done, because that's the homework part. When you're done, if you want to go back and check on the bottom, I'll give you bonus for that. But I would just stay on top. Don't get hung up on looking for it. Try to get your work done during class.